Alright, so let me tell y'all how I almost got scammed. Do not mind how I look, but let me tell y'all. Alright, so one day I decided to check my school email, and I was scrolling through it, and then I seen this email. It looked like it was from a professor, and it was like part-time job. Like, that's what it said, like a part-time job or something like that. And like I was like reading it a little bit before I like opened it all the way. It was like $500 like each week. Like it was like one was like $550, the other was $500. But mind you, it was multiple emails from like different people. So I'm like, and then I'm like looking at the pictures, and I'm like, okay, like it looked real and stuff like that, y'all. So like it was like a good like 5 emails. Like they sent one like in March and this month. Like it was like different months they was sending them. So I'm like, you know what I mean? Like they must be really looking for people. Mind y'all, I'm just a girl. I don't know this. You know what I mean? So, and then it didn't look like it was like I was finna get scammed. Like it just looked so like, bro, I don't know. So then I finally opened one, and I'm like, okay, I want to make an extra, like $500. So like I opened one, and I'm looking at it, and then I email him my resume, and then he emails me back, and then he texts me from my number, and then like we're like texting and trying to like he was like he's out of town in Australia and all this stuff. And bro, he made up his life talking about his wife is battling cancer. Whoever made that email and talking about your wife is battling cancer, like bro, you was going to hell. But that's besides the point. So he said that, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, your wife will get better. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm saying. I should have knew it was a scam. But let me tell y'all how like so much red flags came up, and I still like ignored them. And like this is why. This just don't make no sense. Mind y'all, this happened like the beginning of June. So I'm texting him, and he asked me what bank I got. I said Navy Federal. He was like, you don't got no other bank? What you mean I don't got no other bank? Like, no, this is my only bank that I have, Navy Federal. You gonna work with me or not? So then he's like, oh yeah. And next thing you know, he just stopped texting me. He just didn't text me no more. So then I'm confused, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna text him. And then like the stuff that I had to do, it was like I had to like get toys for a foster, like for some foster kids, and like drop it off to them. It was like something like that. So I'm like, I have no problem doing that. And it was like anytime, like it was like part-time. You only got to commit like 6 hours. Looking back, it just sounds dumb. 6 hours for $500. Like, bro, what? So then he don't text or whatever like that. I'm like, good, because I'm about to go on my trip to Mexico. I'm like, I don't want him to text because I'm not going to be able to get what I need to get done today. So on the last day of Mexico, I text him. I'm like, hey, you never responded back to me or whatever like that. So I just left it alone. And I'm like, I'm just going to look, in my email, because like I said, it was multiple of them. So I go in my email. I emailed one. He texted me back fast, got back with me fast. Like, we're like, texting and stuff like that. And he even asked me, do I have another bank? Like, they all asked me that. And I'm like, oh, like, no, you know what I mean? I'm like, is there a problem? He's like, no. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So he sends me the check through our email. He sends me the check, and he was like, to the mobile deposit or whatever like that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? So in the process of me doing it, it's a holiday, right? Like, it was June 19th, so it's a holiday. So like, the bank's closed or whatever. So then like, so like I'm waiting or whatever like that, like, seeing what my bank's gonna say. And I'm like, oh, it's a holiday, like they closed. Next thing you know, he texts me. Like, mind you, I let him know when I deposit. You know what I mean? When I made the deposit, I let him know. So then he's gonna text me and say, did you do it? And I'm like, oh yeah, I did it. And I'm like, but it's a holiday, nothing's not gonna be done until like, the next day, like, So then he tells me, okay. And then he was like, you will be reimbursed back your money on Friday and all this stuff. Like, this is what he's telling me. He was like, but I need you to send the $500 to the orphan leader. It was like something. It was something he said. And I'm like, what? So now I'm thinking this finna come out of like the whole check he gave me. He gave me a check of like $2,500, a fake check. And I'm gonna try to put it up here so y'all can see it, because I'm just so mad. So then I'm like, okay, but I told you, like, it's not in my account yet because it's a holiday. I like, I told him that. And then he's like, oh, okay, yeah, like, yeah, right. And I said, when it get deposited in there, then I'll, like, I'll let you know. I'll, like, tell me why my bank, I can't make no mobile deposit. It's like, like I got suspended from doing it. So I'm confused because I get the email while I'm at work. It says, I'm sorry, we're unable to, like, make your deposit. So I go on my account, I look, that thing is like, you're suspended, you can't make no mobile deposit, which I don't make them anyways, but it was just this one time. So I go and I'm like, I called a lady, like, I'm like, I need to call somebody. I'm like, I called a lady, she's like, oh no, it didn't work, you might have to like take the physical check and take it there. And I'm telling her, I'm like, it was like, I'm like, well, it was like through my school. I'm like, it's an orphan. And I'm like telling her, she was like, sometimes the checks be fake. I never felt so dumb in my life. She was like, sometimes the check be fake. I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yeah. Okay. So then, mind you, he texts me, and then like before I even called Navy Federal, he texts me, and he's like, did it get in there? Yeah. I'm like, no, it's not in there. And then I'm like, then when my email came, I said, oh, they said they're not gonna it's not, like, it wasn't able to go through. I'm like, you know, like, that's weird because it's never happened before or whatever. So then after I got off the phone with him, I was so mad. I'm like, I was just so mad. So then I'm like, okay, whatever, forget it. I'm not even gonna, like, you know, I ain't give them none of my personal information, like my credit card number, my bank number, my social. I didn't give them nothing. The only thing they know is where I live, and I regret that they know, like, you know, that I put my address on the thing. But whatever, it's not whatever, it's just dumb scammers. So then I get home, he texts me. I say, you, bro, I just went off on him because I was just so mad, because it was like, why would you do that and play in my face? And then I even searched it up, and I'm like scammers can't get into your college, get into like college students like emails and act like they're a professor or something. Like, they could do that stuff, you know what I mean? And I did not know that, but I cursed him out, and I cursed the other one out. And oh my goodness, and on top of that, the other one gonna text me, like, after I told him the mobile deposit didn't work, the other one's gonna text me. Mind you, it was two different names. One of their names was, like, Thomas, and the other one was, I don't know. I think it was, like, an A. I don't even know. But I'm like, y'all some unprofessional scammers. I can't believe y'all did this. And I'm just going off, block both of their numbers, whatever. And the red flag was when he asked me if I had another bank. He asked me that once. And then twice he asked me, can you send me the 500? Can you send me the 500? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know why I didn't catch on that. I'm like, I told you it's not in my account yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no. And then on top of that, they had like the same little storyline. I'm in Australia. Why I didn't know then. He put that he's in Australia handling some work. He's out the country. He won't be in. Tell me why it was like the same exact thing. I don't understand how I didn't catch it. It was just, listen. You live and you learn. You live and you learn. And if y'all scammers out, y'all, oh my goodness. But that was how I got scammed. But they don't know like none of my like personal information besides my phone number and my my address. But they don't know my social, they don't know nothing. Y'all. That right there is just like, y'all just need to be careful, because that just don't even make no sense. Like, you that download to go into some broke college student email asking for money. You that broke. Like, it just don't make no sense at all. It don't make no sense. You're that broke, you're going to go email a college student and try to steal money from them, knowing they in college. Make it make sense. Like, y'all people don't be making sense, and that's what be pissing me off. But I almost got scammed. I didn't. God was right with me, baby.